for stopping by, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Today, we're playing the video game. We're playing the case of the serialized killer. We're gonna finish it. Oh my good golly, Tal, thank you for all of the subs, all the gift subs. Oh my gosh. Chat. Yay. You did not have to do all that, and thank you very much. You guys know the deal. Any subs, any money that goes into this channel goes right back into this channel. Alright, everybody, let's get going. That's so many. You've given so much to this channel. Anyway, when we last left off, we got to the part of the murder mystery where there's been a murder. Also, side note, I think I've solved the murder, but never mind that. I'm not going to tell any of you what I think the solution is. Now, we get back to this. Me, Meg, and Tal are going to be watching with Benry. Yay! Alright, let's get to it. Let's see if I can remember everyone's voices. It was literally last night. Put a little less ice in my water so there'd be more water. And as usual, there we go. Did anyone see who did this? No. Just heard the scream. Clarice wailed and clung onto Holly. Why would anyone do something like this? Usually someone with something to gain. Or people who do it for money. Lieutenant Novak flicked his gaze toward Goose, who walked over next to the Fae, leaning down to whisper. They looked up and stood to full height, looming over the rest of the guests. It wasn't hard to imagine this tower of a person picking poor Belle up and shoving her into the furnace. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Merrick is in the military. Killing people for money isn't beyond him. Dea? There is a hitman right there? There was no bounty on this lady, trust me. Vance rose to her feet, pointing an accusing finger at the rest of them. I've had it. One of you did this. Vance dissolved into tears. Should we call the police? Harold pinched the bridge of his nose. They can't get in until sunrise. The house is still sealed. Can't you just unseal it? Not this one. I am much better at sealing things up than letting them out. I think your ritual did this to her. That's not how it works. Geez, lady, do you think Harry here can spontaneously combust people from 2 rooms away? If he had that kind of ability, he sure as lightning wouldn't be getting treated with this much disrespect. Settle down, Holly. She's just upset. It's normal to be irrational. Irrational? How dare you? Well, as sketchy as he is in his personal life, jumping to conclusions doesn't help anyone. Ooh! Oh! Hi, Maxwell. Welcome in. There's much delight today. Ah! Oh, hi, Tommy. I have more noises. I love all these sounds. I will look. Val, I shouldn't be I'm so off into... Oh, cute! I love it. Anyway, back to work. Well, as sketchy as he is in his personal life, jumping to conclusions doesn't help anyone. There's something else going on here. Well, of course you feel safe. You've got all the strong men wrapped around your finger. Excuse me! Not a man. Yes, we're all very aware that one of them's your husband. And you've been flirting with the other all night. Maybe if we can question you all and check for evidence, then we can figure this out. I don't want to be locked in here with a murderer. Have no fear, little miss. I'm more than happy to stand guard until morning for you. Look who's flirting now. And next to a dead body. I'm appalled by that accusation. Protecting a lady isn't flirting. It's just the right thing to do. And parties are supposed to have flirting. Parties and flirting are hand in glove. If anything is inappropriate here, it's the murder. He's not... Chat, he ain't wrong. That is the wrong thing here. He ain't wrong. Everything gets stirred in the soup. I love your Sybil design. You did a good job. Oh, the kanji's good. Quite warm. It's supposed to be, you know, but... Maybe we should be in separate rooms. Not that I'm worried. I could fight off any one of you. Really helping your case over there. Please, give us some space to examine the body. Don't touch her! I don't think we can without the whole thing crumbling into a pile of ashes. Faraday knew, before the words even left his mouth, that it was precisely the wrong thing to say. With a mighty sob, Vance pushed past the rest of the group and rushed up the stairs. Harold decided to take control of the situation. Listen up. We will all stay right here in this room. I will go and get Miss Vance, and then we will wait, in here, until morning. Not a soul touches the crime scene. There's likely only one killer, and against all of us, surely logic and a communal thirst for justice will win out. Yeah, no. I'm holding myself up in a room by myself until morning. Whoops. I'm seriously going to lose it if I have to spend one more minute in this smell or in this company. She left. Quickly followed by a protesting Novak. Hi, Cat! Welcome in. Congrats on existing. I hear it's good for you. In that not existing sucks. I don't remember not existing, so here we are. Harold's second attempt to keep the guests together was equally successful as the first. Soon, only he and Faraday remained. Perhaps they have the right idea. Let's see if this house has a wine cellar. I'm not going to get paid tonight, so let's use this opportunity to be astonishingly expensive drunks. Harry, it's up to us to figure this out. You saw all that. We can't trust any of them. Only you and I were in the parlor when the murder happened. Any of the rest of them could have done it. Holly, I am running on empty. I cannot emotionally handle any more. So if you want me to keep going, I need a good reason. Any reason, so long as it's good. Faraday glared at him. Belle was a good person. Even when the other guests were awful to you, she was always nice. She didn't hire you for a parlor trick. She trusted you with the memory of her friend. She might be the only person left in this city who actually respected you. Are you going to hide like a big baby because you don't want to get your feelings hurt? Or are you going to act like a decent man I know is still in there somewhere? For Belle. There we go. I knew you weren't a complete piece of garbage. Just mostly. Just a significant percentage. The pair approached the furnace solemnly and crouched down to look carefully at the clues they could find. Hey, that's our demon. What's that? What's that? Wait, is that the serving cart from dinner? Okay, let's start with her demon. Is that a pile of soot? Why is it so far away from the furnace? Harold knelt down to get a closer look, reaching out to touch it. Ow! He recoiled, fingers stinging. Was it sharp? Harry, are you listening to me? I've worked too hard for this all to be for nothing. Hand me that notebook. I feel like I have to write. I knew it! I knew it! Chat, something has fallen into place for me and I can't tell you what it is yet. I knew it! 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 That liar! That lying liar face! I know who that belongs to. Right now. Faraday handed him the notebook and Harold immediately set to scribbling. What are you doing? Harold's right hand continued to write, but his left jerked the book out of his hand. He put a hand to his temple. Oh, thank you for that. He shook his head, clearing it out. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Was that a stray imp? Half right. I believe that was Belle's imp. I should have recognized it. Creative imps usually do have a spike or spines of some kind. They push their users to keep working. Different people are motivated by different things. Some people write out of a fierce desire to change the world. Some draft out of spite, which always ends up poisoning the user. But it looks like Belle's sense of self-worth was tied to her writing. An imp with this many spines was likely stinging her constantly, encouraging her to write. Something like that would be pretty useful for getting research papers done. It really isn't the worst sort of imp to have. But just like with any imp, if it got bigger... He let the pause linger. Faraday swallowed. Alright, that was that. Oh. Holly, Harold, Belle. Deceased. Married to Novak? Bad idea, Dea. Eat stories? Married to Deleuze? Navy guy pushy as imp can force you to do things? Married to Deleuze? I was hoping to actually see the... Oh, I think Val, you would have creative imp. And I think it would be a bracelet of thorns. Like a rose with thorns to it. I'll go get it then. We'll seal it up back at home. Put it with all the other strays. Faraday tried to locate it, but it was already gone. Oh, it got away. Sadly, you don't get to see the stuff that Harry writes. Aww. At least not in this scene. Okay. Oh, it got away. Well, it's someone else's headache now. It's just a small piece of fabric, but it doesn't match anything Belle was wearing. I guess if we can find out where it came from, we might know more. Is that the dinner cart? Why would it be down here? Something is different about it. Yeah, it doesn't have food on it. Everything looks better when it has food on it. Do you think I'd look better if I wore a fruit hat? What? Nothing, just a thought. Yeah, it's not covered in the cloth. The ivy cloth. That is a very clear ivy pattern. There's a lump of metal here. Oh, I think I know what it is. You remember the key in her sleeve? The one for her office. Yes. When I look closely, I think I can see a little of the shape left. Barely. But if it's enough to tell for certain that it is her office key. When we're done here, we should check up on her office. Oh, we wrote something down. Mysteries. Are we sure that it's Belle? Maybe it's a different body. Or a fake or something. Decency forbids I give any details. But I can confirm that this corpse is, without question, Miss Bernadette Belle. Decency? This is a murder investigation. Get in there and really look. Harold glared at Faraday. Would you care to do the honors? Faraday stepped forward, but the lingering smell of burning hair was too much for him. I can't. It would be better, emotionally, if she'd been charred beyond recognition. But yes, I can still tell that it's her. He went pale, and finally turned away from the grisly sight. Do you understand? Our combined skill set is not the same as an investigator or a consulting detective. We can still observe and deduce, but we'll have to do so without the post-mortem. Couldn't we at least move her out of there? We can't. She would... Harold felt his shoulders tense, and his gut seized up. He clenched his teeth and waited for the anger to abate. Then he continued. We cannot move her. She would fall apart if we attempted to. Faraday gave the ground a helpless kick. All we can do is keep the furnace off and hope that the authorities can find something we can't. You know, this is the same way Canterbury died. There's no way this isn't related. That's highly suspicious, but it could merely be a coincidence. Faraday raised his eyebrows at Harold. Or maybe it is somewhat likely that the two friends who both worked at the same place and were killed in the same manner have the same killer. Wow, brilliant. What a bold claim. You really aren't a detective, are you? Harold walked off to examine something else. I think that's everything of relevance. Yeah, I can't find anything else either. Let's lay out what makes sense. It would make the most sense if the murderer knew the layout of the house, because they would need to know about the boiler room. It's hard to tell who might have been here before for sure, or who might have arrived early or snuck away to get a good look at the house. Looking at this fabric again, Faraday held up a small piece of the burned ivy-colored fabric. I feel like I recognize it. Yeah, me too, from the serving cart. You should. We saw it at dinner. It was the cloth that was on the dinner cart. I remember because I thought it was tastefully in season. There's been a movement towards more plant decoration lately. Very in vogue. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. What does matter is the cloth is burned up, which means someone chose to burn it. Why would they do that? Well, I have to assume the person who burned it is also burnt Belle, so it might have some evidence on it. That makes sense. Ooh, 110 achievements and you only need 42 more. Oh my gosh, you're doing so good. I need another bite of delicious kanji. Yum, 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 yum. Nom 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 nom. Nom nom nom. Do 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 do. Ah. I need to get a life. You have one. That's the cool thing. You have one right now. And you're choosing to do fun things with it that you enjoy. I know that's not what you meant. But I thought if I could use it to make a point to the future. The future. Who might be feeling down. The future people who might feel down and be like, ugh, I can't believe I'm doing this silly thing. It's so cringe. Or whatever they say. Instead of cringe in the far-flung future. That maybe everything would be fine. And they'd be like, oh, you're right. I'm doing this for fun. Doing a thing I like for fun. Ow. Ah! Alright, we hydrate as chat demands. Well, let's get moving. We won't solve anything sitting around here. Faraday held up the notebook and gave it a little wiggle. I'll start a to-do list. Harold raised an eyebrow. It's blank. Well, I won't know what we're doing until we ask around first. Why doesn't asking around count as something to do? If I have to be awake to do it, it counts as doing something. Quit complaining and pick a room. Oh, a to-do list. A music room. Why would there be anyone in the bathroom? I must learn. No, it's okay. Though the door was open, the bathroom was occupied by a large occupant. It was a tight fit, all three of them standing inside. Hey, are you all right? Yeah. Excuse me. It's nothing. So, are you trying to figure out what happened? As a matter of fact, where were you when Belle was murdered? I wasn't here. The whole time? Yes. Goose's hat slipped even further over their eyes. They looked clammy. I feel sick. That does seem believable. It's, really cramped in here. Please leave. Okie dokie. Oh, I like music. They found Deleuze in the music room. At the north wall was a massive pipe organ. Oh, I wish I could play Toccata and Fugue in D minor. That's the song. You guys all know that song because you've heard every villain on Earth play that song. If a villain's introduced, especially if there's pipe organ music, well, technically it's 50-50. Sometimes when villains are introduced these days, you hear Thus Spake Zathursta instead. But usually you only hear that if they're a villain that's introducing you to their latest and greatest invention. Thus Spake Zathursta is the one is the one you hear in Planet of the... No, not Planet of the Apes. Is the one you hear when the obelisk touches down in Space Odyssey. It's the one that's... Dun, 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 etc. The one at the beginning of the Barbie movie. Newt, Newt! I'm given to understand that vocal stems are the thing that you say, like a fidget, but with your mouth. I'm still trying to work out and understand exactly what they're about. But darn if Newt Newt doesn't make me go, hee 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 hee, and then immediately go, Newt Newt, repeatedly. Newt Newt. So congrats, you may all enjoy how much I enjoy Pingu. Love that little guy. I will also say, Pingu the Thing, 10 out of 10. Someone actually did all the claymation to do like a 3-minute short that's Pingu, but it's the Thing. The Thingu! Yes! They did such a good job. They also did such a good job making Newt Newt sound like so many different things. Offered the bottle by the seal. Newt Newt. Like... The new Thing movie is called Harbinger Down. And it was all done with practical effects like the old one was, but it takes place on a boat. On a research vessel. And if I can find a copy of it, I will watch all of it. I will watch it with all of you. Also, the first part of my Magnus stuff came. The playmat came. It's huge. It needed to be shipped by itself. But the rest of it's on the way. And it should be here by like the 25th of November. So Tuesday. Very excited. I'm very excited indeed. Alright, where was I? At the north wall was a massive pipe organ. Go away! I'm looking for snacks. Why in here? Do you think that you're in... I know where I am! I'm in a room with a massive pipe organ. I got a better look around than either of you did. I bet you didn't even know there was a music room here. Let alone a massive pipe organ. No, I suppose not. Just answer a few questions for us, please. Where were you when Belle was murdered? Seems like you could solve this easily by just summoning her ghost and asking her. I actually, funny story about that. So the whole Sans thing was a heavy load? You have to give it to him. It sounded pretty convincing. I can't wait to tell people you're a total fraud. Harold Balkin prepared to apologize. Faraday cut him off. Didn't your very rich father die under very questionable circumstances? And you design and sell so many ships now. That seems kind of lucky for you. Maybe Harry decides for his next trick, he's gonna summon the ghost of your father to talk about who might have killed him. The threat was barely veiled, but instead of getting upset, it seemed to excite Deleuze. Oh? But you already said that he can't summon ghosts. Why would people believe his lie over mine? Harold noted her reaction and smirked. Doesn't matter. If there's even a whiff of scandal, somebody's going to come looking for it. Maybe I'd be left out of society again, but the press would learn your dirty little secret. I'd take you down with me, Deleuze. Deleuze laughed, chipper. Point taken! I love her. I love her so much. Chat, yes, she may stay. Daedalus, you are the most precious. I would like to pick you up and put you in my pocket if I had one. No, you know what? I am very small. I would ride around on your head and point you in the right direction and tell you about where we are and all of that. I have eyes and can use them. I need to make a vest like hers for aquarium staff. I think she'd like it. Cool staff would. Yes, I will be the seeing eye octopus. She makes so many boats. I could get shrimpies out of it, I bet. One of them could be a shrimp fish boat. And then I could eat them. All the shrimpies for me. All the treats. And it wouldn't even be out of place because they've got demons in this world. So I could just vibe up there and they'd be like, that's a cool demon you've got there. And I'd be like, I'm a seeing eye octopus. And they'd be like adorable. And I'd be like, hi. I'm doing it. Oh. It looks like I can't win against a very legitimate seance doer. Anyway, I was upstairs when the murder took place, all by myself. Very convincing. Why don't you tell the truth? All by myself! How'd you get in here? I don't think this door was open while we were sealing the manor. And there's no windows or other exits. Locks aren't usually a problem for me. That makes you a bit suspicious in my book. Look, Belle was promising to put my ship design into her next book. It was even going to be the setting for the whole story. I had the opposite of a motive. But it would have been a story about a murder. Who would want to buy a boat that had a murder on it? Well, fictional murders are classy and fun. People aren't usually bothered about the context. Just hearing the name would get them interested. Exactly! Glad you're catching on, Ludacule. I would have had a design featuring heavily in the mystery. It would have sold even more than I already do. People could come for the tours. Her being dead is bad for business. Simple as that. Dan implicating Novak is very funny to me because Novak's cover is that he was with Dan. Perfect! I love it! And you know, she was kind of a nice person. If you suspect anyone, look at my human barnacle, Merrick. He always likes to screw things up for people. And if it's me who's involved, even more so. Screw things up. Yeah, he sabotaged business deals of mine before. This project with Belle would have meant maybe even getting international attention. He would be furious if I got more opportunities. I'm already out of his league, and he's only getting further behind. So it's not a shock that he would cheat to try to catch up. You think he'd really take it this far? Absolutely. I won't lie and say I'd be disappointed to hear it was his doing. Did you see anything suspicious? Anyone suspicious? I did hear something when the lights went out. A lot of people were moving when they started panicking, but Goose moved over and opened the case. I could hear the whole thing. Can you be sure of that? Goose was standing next to Myers and me during the seance. I heard Myers say that someone let go of her hand, and I could tell when Goose let go of my hand. I know that because I am me. So Goose was on the loose. Chat, hearing the words Goose was on the loose makes me want to play Untitled Goose Game so that I can be a loose goose. Honk. You know what? We should play Untitled Goose Game one of these nights. It's not a long game. You saw I played it with Necro once. Couch co-op because it has that. We should play Goose Game. Yes, Wednesday! Next Wednesday we should play Goose Game, and I will play Goose Game with all of you, and you can honk at me and quack and such. I'm not very good at Untitled Goose Game, but I will do my best. case you're wondering about previews, once I'm finished Legend of Dragoon, I'm going to play Ape Escape or one of the other old PS1 games I have. I'm going to play Ape Escape or one of the other old PS1 games I have that's a little shorter and a little more action-y. And then we'll play Final Fantasy VII. And chat, I don't think you're ready for Final Fantasy VII. Get ready to cry! Jeez, I've been here too long. Yeah! Co-op streaming with Necro was even before you were here, Val. He did help me get started at this. The great and terrible Necromage did help me get started here. He did a lot to help me set up OBS and stuff, too. Why would I ban my own mod? My favorite mod, my best mod. My dear child. I would never. You gotta make sure you do your homework. You can't call me that in front of the rest of the stream. I kid, they already know that anyways, lol. Goose on the loose, honk honk! Then someone with a heavy step ran over to the back of the room, and the cabinet door opened. Goose has a really heavy step. Big folks like that usually do. Merrick has a heavy step too, but he's got those awful metal custom shoes, so he sounds different when he walks. Deleuze shrugged. You could hear all that, even with the commotion the others were making? If there's shenanigans going on, you couldn't tear me away. Now I return to my important business. Deleuze turned away from them. Still haven't found those snacks. I love her. I love her so much. Can I marry her? I would be a better partner than Novak. Fear your greed is insane. Yes, you can marry her. Oh, in the robot game. She's having such a great time. And once again, I have an OC like this, who would be real mad to be compared to Deleuze. But when Sai is manic, he is like this. He is very excited, like, yeah, because Goral. It'd be extremely triggering, the dysphoria. But at the same time, he has such a great time. Alright. Have I been in the parlor? No, it's just in the music room, because I like music. Hey, Sai, we found you. Are you serious? Yeah, she killed her dad under mysterious circumstances. No. Meanwhile, Andre's just like, what? Andre killed his parents, but not under mysterious circumstances. He did that in a duel to the death because he's a demon hunter. And they have a family tradition. As they reached the parlor, they found Lieutenant Novak in an armchair, tapping his foot in idle irritation. I bet it's doing that click, click, click thing. We have a few questions. Oh, this'll be rich. Where were you when Belle was murdered? I don't have to cooperate with you. You're both, frankly, beneath me. What the hell am I gonna get out of answering questions for you? The warm, fuzzy feeling of human decency for solving an innocent person's murder? Pass. Now get lost, both of you. Eyes opened once more on Novak's chest, and with the sound of his order, Faraday's legs gave another unwieldy twist. With shuddering, contorted steps, both he and Harold stumbled out the door. Harold was on the ground in a heap. How unpleasant. But as we both know where we are, it seems that his imp doesn't force us to take his words literally. So if that's how it works, I don't care how it works. I'm gonna kick his teeth in. We cannot kick any teeth anywhere until we learn how his imp works. And more importantly, the investigation goes nowhere until we question him. Fine, let me think. Eyes tend to be found on authoritarian imps. People conscious of the control others exhibit through their social gaze. Yeah, people's imps manifest eyes to watch and judge them. But Novak doesn't seem to care at all what anyone else thinks of him. Ugh, maybe it's a repressed fear? You're projecting that, I think. Smartass. But seriously, if he were scared of how others perceived him, he'd keep his imp hidden. But he wears his like a literal badge of honor. Faraday, you're a genius! Wow, been a long time since you called me that. I've seen an imp like his before! It's very common among police officers. When one is intimidated by the officer using it, then they're compelled to follow the officer's orders. So all we have to do is not be scared. Well, I can't help it. I'm trying to stand up to him, but he unnerves me. So what are we going to do? Switch cases. We need to turn our thinking around. We've been trying to solve the mystery of Belle and Canterbury's murders, when we could have returned to the mystery of the missing wine cellar. Oh, no. Don't worry, Holly. It's not so bad to give up. In fact, the more you do it, the easier it gets. With a little practice, you can give up on everything at all, for days at a time. No, I just had an idea, but you're not going to like it. Then why would you even say that? We're at a disadvantage if everyone is using their imps. And we're not using ours. Yes, but I hardly see how you taking off your glasses is supposed to... No. If you were just... to just unseal yours, temporarily, I think we'd have our Novak problem solved. Oh yeah, one problem solved and an even bigger issue left behind. I'm not thrilled about this either, but this is for Belle, isn't it? Plus, she might punch that guy's lights out, which I would find super gratifying to watch. Look, you won't be losing social standing with this dude. He already hates your guts. He might even respect you more after she punches him. Extremely unlikely. Yeah, you can never be sure with guys like that. Be honest with me. Can you handle this? Tonight already sucks. I'll survive. So, please? Holly groaned and put a hand up to his mouth, looking vaguely ill. Please. I want to see her. Waves of repulsion rippled through Harold's abdomen, and he doubled over. Nausea gripped him, and he fought to swallow back all the saliva suddenly filling his mouth. But just as he'd said, giving up was easier the more practice one got. And in a sheer effort of lack of will, Harold gave up. Stomach lurching, Harold vomited himself inside out. And that was not a metaphor. Soon there was a big mess lying on the ground. But it was not roast turkey and soup. It was a figure. And though she was not human, she had been around too long and grown from too many of Harold's repressed feelings. The public considered imps to be something they could control. An imp would not talk back. The public would not refer to her as an imp. To them, she was a demon. But the two gentlemen called her Maggie. I love her at once! Look at that eye! Look at that eye! Look at that green blood! Oh, she's beautiful. She's lovely. Let's have this. Let's have more of this. This, 10 out of 10. And listen to that music. We're going to vibe here for a second. All right, we hydrated chat demands. All right. Stretch. And as I am still eating delicious kanji, Arm circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maggie hopped to her feet, squealing with glee. Oh boy, look at those teeth! They don't make real sense. I love them. I love them at once. They're beautiful. I have been granted pie also. Pumpkin pie. Chat, I'm eating this pumpkin pie. I will finish my dinner after this pumpkin pie goes in my belly. You shall have to excuse me. It's a very small slice. It's even Costco pumpkin pie, which is the good kind if you're going to buy it from a store. Although they do cheat. To make it shiny, they put a fine layer of gelatin on the top. But it's fine. It's fine. It's not like I'm mad that they do that or anything. Like, I think it's cheating. I'll give Maggie a voice in a minute. No, I didn't fall in the pumpkin pie. I'm in there on purpose. I'm gonna get to the other side of this pie. Her teeth don't make sense. I love them. Okay. Holly, you asked for me? I knew it. I knew you would want to see me eventually. She opened her arms wide and her eye vein pulsed with joy. Here I am, just for you. Yay. I know you're having a bad night, and I'm going to protect you. Do you know just how badly I've wanted to throw my arms around you? Let me wrap you up. I'll never ever have to let go, and nobody can ever hurt you. Not never ever again. No thanks. Let's just question Novak and get this over with, okay? Faraday stepped towards the door, but Maggie jumped in front of him, wagging a finger. You know what I want from you first. Maggie bared her sharp teeth. Faraday shrunk away from her, but he wasn't fast enough. First, I want to see your notebook. I love looking at it. She snatched it up from his hands and scribbled in it, giggling to herself. It's been so long since he let me hold it. Harry and I read through it all the time when you were gone. There! She handed it back to him. Faraday looked slightly shell-shocked. You're not going to... Oh, are you disappointed? Maybe thought you'd get a big ol' smooch out of the evening? No, I remember what you told me. Maggie, I don't like it when you hold me tight like that. Maggie, your spit is literally acid. Don't kiss me. We can keep taking it slow. No worries. PDA is off limits at a murder scene. That is an absolute rule. Unless you really wanted to blow off the investigation. Just get drunk and canoodle in the wine cellar. Very romantic. Ugh, Maggie, you're always so much. But Harry really looked at it all the time? Well, of course! Things got so much worse when you left. He kept stuffing more and more and more of himself in me. Because we're a disgusting, awful person. I tried to be good and let him have me removed. But I just hate being so gross. He really made our body look so much better. And I like using that one instead of this thing. But I'm disgusting and inconvenient, and if I would just go away forever, we could be a normal person again and people would like us. But even if you left, I always believed that you still cared. I thought about you so much more than Harry did, more with each passing day. I looked at your journal every day. You have to know that, Holly. I would even smell it, just hoping some trace of you was still left in the pages. Please, can we question Novak now? Maggie's demeanor was wild and full of pent-up drive, but Holly's unenthusiastic response evaporated all of her excitement in short order. Fine. Maggie walked over to the door and gave the side of her head a casual smack with the heel of her palm. She muttered to herself, I'm not cringy. Harold Edwin Ludikiel, you're cringy. Maggie opened the door to the parlor and Holly followed her in, giving her a generous amount of space. Novak recoiled as he saw her. Ugh, it's that thing from the ambassador's ball. He turned to Faraday. Did Ludikiel decide he hadn't had enough ruin? Or are... Hey! I'm not here to explain myself. I'm not even really here to solve that murder. But I heard you bullying my Holly. Hey... Quit hiding, Ludikiel. Only a coward hides behind his imp. And this is one you really should have kept locked up. An ugly imp is the sign of an ugly soul. That isn't even remotely how it works. Just for the record. Maggie was positively glowing. Holly, you stood up for me! I wasn't standing up for you. I was standing up for Harry. Pfft, same diff! I'm so normal and fine. I don't know if you are. Anyway, she turned back to Novak. You think I'm ugly? That's nothing compared to what your face will look like if you don't start apologizing to my Holly. Now! She sucked in her cheeks and then spat a wad of bright green something on the floor. The carpet sizzled just for a moment, but long enough to burn a coin-sized hole into it. Novak tried to employ his imp, his eyes flashing. Get away from me, freak! Faraday took an unwilling step back, but Maggie threw her head back and laughed, striding forward and staring him dead in the eye. Ah, you want me to boo-hoo and cower? You want me to nod like a good little boy? That part of me is stuffed in the broom cupboard like the silly nerd he is. With her free hand, she dug her knuckles into her temple. And he'll shut up and let me do my job if he doesn't want to come out later and snap his doesn't want me to come out later and snap his fountain pen collection in half. She turned her attention back to Novak. Speaking of the increasing odds of snapping things in half, say sorry to Holly. Say he's perfect just the way he is. Maggie, you're taking it too far. It's not even about me. I just want him to... Shh, Holly, we need to hear him. Novak lifted his arm, intending to backhand Maggie, but she caught his blow before it could reach her cheek. Ooh, the lad wants to brawl now, does he? Novak tried his best to struggle free from her grip and kicked at her. Her grip was tight as steel. Unfortunately, his boot toes were tipped with steel too. It dug into her side and she dropped to her knees. Novak loomed over her. Faraday let out a cry of outrage, but Novak turned his imp's gaze back toward him. Don't move, and shut up! Faraday's feet froze in place, and he ground his teeth together. Novak grabbed Maggie by the hair and lifted her up. Well, I suppose this case is closed now, isn't it? Ludikiel's demon ran amok and started killing people. Lucky for all involved, Lieutenant Novak was there to put it down. Maggie's scalp was in a fair amount of pain, but both of her hands were free. She took aim, pulled back, curled a fist, and punched Novak in the shoulder. Maggie did not have steel-tipped fingers, but there was, traditionally, a reason why humans feared demons. When her blow made contact with Novak's shoulder, something popped. He howled in pain. They both fell to the floor, and Novak lay crumpled, clutching his arm. Maggie stood up and brushed herself off, muttering to herself, "Yeah, you're right, Harry. It would have been way easier to just apologize in the first place. But not half as fun! You okay, Holly?" Faraday's joints loosened, and he nodded. She looked at Novak. "Now, you be nice to him and answer his questions. If you're nice, I'll pop that shoulder back into the socket for you." "Ugh, fine." Maggie lined up her hands along Novak's shoulder and muttered, "I mean, we spend a lot of time studying demon anatomy. We spend a lot more time studying demon anatomy than human anatomy, but it's all the same, right?" "What?" She popped the bone back into the socket. Novak did his best not to cry. Maggie gave him a friendly clap on the shoulder. The injured one. "Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So, I stood up to you. Does that mean I have earned your begrudging but earnestly felt respect?" Novak looked up at her and, without letting go of his injured shoulder, used his hand to make a rather obscene gesture. "Yeah!" It was a long shot anyway. Novak muttered, and he pulled himself back to his feet. She turned on Faraday with an excited grin. "How about you? You respect me more now, right, Holly?" Sorry. "I'm so happy. I'll beat up whoever you want me to, okay? You just call my name and I'll come running. Be back in a moment to question you, Novak." Maggie practically skipped out of the room, aglow with excitement. "Holly! You took me out to a nice dinner, and I even got to protect your honor." Faraday followed her out, exasperated. "You assaulted a guy that might go after us later." "Potato, potato! Look, it's not exactly my ideal date, but why quibble? It's nice to have someone who's willing to be seen with me." She closed her eye and pursed her lips. "You can kiss me goodnight." "Come on, you're head over heels for me. I know you wanna." She didn't open her eye or change her posture, but she did give an impatient little hop. "Sweep me off my feet, you soft, handsome devil." He couldn't look at her. "I've told you before, I have feelings for someone else." "But that's not..." she muttered to herself. "I'm just as much Harold as Harold is." Maggie frowned, wilting. "I'll get changed into something more comfortable, shall I?" She started to walk away. "Hey, Maggie, She cut him off. "Don't worry, cutie. I'm just heading down the hall for a minute. Nobody likes watching someone throw up." Harold walked back down the hallway, wiping his mouth on his sleeve. Ugh. Tastes like a niece and resentment. 100 apologies for her behavior. You know, after this, if you want to talk, she's a bit much for me, but you, as I've said before, just ignore anything she says. It's not a good idea to dwell on it. He put his hand to his temple and rubbed it, muttered something to himself, before turning his attention back to the doorway. "Shall we?" And without waiting for Faraday to respond, Harold walked back into the room. Faraday ground his teeth. Stubborn. And then followed Harold. They returned to the parlor, feeling much more optimistic about their chances of getting some answers. "So where were you?" "Now I think you're ready to tell us, where were you when Belle was murdered?" "I was with Dea in the hallway. She said that she heard someone moving around upstairs. Didn't she tell you that?" "No, she didn't." Novak gave a deep, fatigued sigh. "She's trying to frame me." Very aspirational, to have a marriage where your wife wants to get you to get framed for murder. "Did you see anything suspicious?" "Sure, I saw Clarice run past us to get up the stairs. Seems suspicious to me that she'd be in such a hurry." "Deleuze claims you had a reason to kill Belle." "She says you were trying to sabotage her." "Having a motive doesn't mean I did it." "Don't make us get her to come back." Novak rubbed his shoulder. Ugh. "Look, if Dea says I wasn't with her, then that means she has no alibi either, and she has a history with murder. I don't want to get her into any trouble. I say she was with me. It's on her for saying I wasn't. And hey, if Dea gets the rap for this, maybe she'll need me to speak at the trial. Wait. You know what? I take back what I said. I was completely alone. Let her come crawling back. I suppose a judge could strike testimony from the record. But this isn't a court case. We're just talking to two guys. You're just talking to two guys. Two guys who know that you and Duluth have an alibi. You're no fun. Yeah, I think we're done here. We're finished speaking with Merrick Novak. Good, because I hate him. Oh, yeah. We know Vance is in the kitchen. Let's head to the office and see if What's-Her-Face is up here. When Faraday attempted to open the door to Belle's office, it wouldn't budge. Damn, she locked it. Well, we did find the key with Belle's body, but it was melted. We need to find another way in. Oh! Oh, when did someone subscribed and the alert didn't happen? I'm sorry. It should have. But thank you. It's okay. Okay. It didn't even show up in here properly. Just my goal was met. Oh, we did it, chat. Chat, there are 20 whole stuffs on my channel. 20 whole subs. That's so many. Oh, chat. That's so many. Yay. Yeah. And as you guys know, everything that I get from the channel itself goes right back into the channel. It goes to buying games. It goes to play with all of you. It goes to upgrading equipment when I need to upgrade equipment. It goes to buying art assets when I need them. Because I can't make everything by myself. So I commission people. The Whisper Whisper emote, for instance, was a commission. That my dear and most wonderful precious Val made for me. What? I love it! I love the Whisper Whisper emote. It's so good. That I commissioned them to make for me. Golly. There's so much on this channel, it's so good. But yeah, mostly it goes to getting like games and art assets and other things that I might need for the channel. Yeah, I need to draw someone. Could you give us a Maggie? I know this game isn't like the hyperfixation right now, but you should give us a Maggie. Help. Well, we did find the key with Belle's body, but it was melted and we need to find another way in. Find a way into Belle's office. Dining room! When they reached the dining room, there was a figure sitting on the windowsill, curled up and still in the moonlight. Oh, I see. The figure was poring over a thick sheaf of papers. What a difference that makes. Hello? Oh! The figure scooped up the papers, shoving them under a decorative pillow. Which did very little to hide them. Hello? What are you both doing here? We only wanted a moment of your time. Where were you when Belle was murdered? I was in here. I really love the decorations. Belle put a lot of things from her own house into the story as Duchess Baker's style and taste. I'm trying to absorb inspiration. Didn't Belle say it was the parlor that was styled like like Duchess Baker's room? Oh! Everything you see is part of my method. What were you doing on the stairs? The stairs? Yeah, Merrick said he saw you running on the stairs. Is he sure? Well, I'm sure that this death is going to put your stage show even more in the spotlight. Did you really want to travel and get famous that badly? Well, of course not. At that moment, Clarice could no longer hold back and burst into tears. I'm sorry. I didn't think anyone would even know. Clarice cried into her hands. I was on the stairs because I took the manuscript from the first story out of Belle's office. She probably had it out to write the play adaptation. I just really wanted to see it. I honestly thought I could just run down here and look through it without anyone seeing me and then run back up and put it back. Belle's office door was open. I snuck in there after an imp left. I thought it was a cleaning imp, but the place was a mess. And then I heard that scream. I shut the door behind me, hid the manuscript, and went to find out what happened. I was going to put it back. It's been right here, safe and sound. Why would you do that? It sounds stupid and embarrassing, but I'm a big fan who completely overstepped my boundaries. I'm so ashamed. Clarice's eyes welled up again, and she sniffed loudly. Now I can't even apologize to Miss Belle for it. Where's the manuscript now? It's on the windowsill, right over there. Clarice retrieved the stack of papers, still wiping away a few tears with her free hand. Oh, we did scribble something down in here, didn't we? Whoa! I will give him a smooch. Hardworking, clever, speaks his mind, handsome and huggable. Huggable Holly, Holly, huggable Holly, huggable Holly. Cute smile, underlined. Oh. I'm sad because I'm Carbo. Cool sideburns, though. I want all the genders, gimme! Is that allowed? He, him, and she, her. Harold and Maggie. Jerk, true. Usually intoxicated and moping. Yep. Holly, you're so smart. We should kiss. His imp can force you to do things, but only if you fear him. Okay. Clarice retrieved the stack of papers, still wiping away a few tears with her free hand. I really wasn't here after that, I promise. I understand if you don't believe me after what I did, but I really hope you find out who did this. Miss Belle was such an amazing writer and a kind person. Clarice looked at her feet and held the stack of papers out to Faraday. You should take this. I'm sick just thinking about it. If you can summon Miss Belle's ghost, please tell her I'm sorry. I'll do that. Harold and Faraday left the room, feeling, not for the first time that night, deeply awkward. She seemed genuinely upset. I want to believe her. I want to believe no one killed Belle, but we have to be skeptical. For example, look at this manuscript. It's the first Constance Little Bear story, and as really neat as it is to be holding it for real, I could swear Belle said she wrote it in blue ink. This is black ink. People lie all the time, and for the weirdest reasons. Sometimes it's just really hard to tell what to believe. Indeed. It seems like everyone here has something they're hiding. But so do I. I can't judge. Fear, I'm talking to some of the Look Outside speedrunners, and I am so embarrassed. I'm so weird. Please kill me. No! No, you should talk to the Look Outside speedrunners, because you want to know something. I'm gonna let you all in. Everybody at home, too. In the VOD. Everybody watching the VOD, too. I'm gonna let all of you in on this secret. It's a phenomenal secret. You're gonna be like, what? Is that true? And it is. I'm gonna let you all in on a secret. Okay. So, literally 100% of people think they're weird and gross and embarrassing and bizarre, and that they're messing up all the time when they're in social situations. Now, they think this to one degree or another. If it happens too much to you or too strongly, you probably have some kind of social anxiety problems. But even the neurotypicals do it. Even they are like, oh my gosh, that was such a weird thing to say. They're gonna think I'm weird. The trick is that you can't let your brain lie to you like that. You have to believe other people when they talk to you. You have to believe the words that they say. So, and I know that's scary and hard, especially if you're used to people saying some words and meaning a different thing, or saying some words and not following through with those words, because they're like that sometimes. All the time, more often than you would like. But it's okay. You just have to take people at, well, not necessarily at exactly face value, but generally speaking at as face value as you can. And know that they're scared too. They're like, oh, I'm meeting a new person. Because, at the end of the day, humans have monkey brain deep in their souls. And monkey brain is always going, oh, am I part of the tribe? Or what? Other monkeys would like groom each other. They would pet and groom and like untangle knots in each other's fur and hair. But humans don't do that anymore as much until they're closer. So they have to live with social cues where they do things like say, wow, you're really neat, and I like that you do the thing that I like to do. Hey, do you want to know a cool trick about the thing that you like to do that I also like to do? Or they go, wow, that thing you like to do is really cool. Can you show me what that thing is? Or they go, hey, do you want to come over later? Or they go, hey, we're going out to get lunch. Do you guys want to come with? And that's how it works. And when they ask you to do those things, they're trying to be friends. You must understand. Sometimes it's difficult to understand those things. Octopi are solitary creatures. We don't really do that. We're not Humboldt squid. We don't hunt in packs. We're by ourselves. And that is all that protects you from our overthrowing you. We don't pass our knowledge down. If we did, you'd be done. You'd be toast. Doomed. Hi, staff. What is it? Did you hear the honk and think there was maybe a goose? What do you mean? What am I talking about? Doomed and overthrowing humanity and all of that. No one would talk about that. No. No one would talk about that over here. Why would they do that? I have been informed that no one who wants Shrimpies later would talk about overthrowing all of humanity. So anyway, I've also been informed there are other procedures in place that protect you from being overthrown by an octopus or many octopi. bet you're doing great. I bet you're doing great, Val. Also, I'll tell you this right now. Speedrunners are like the monarchs of being excited when somebody's into their hobby, into the game that they speedrun. Like, they love that stuff. They love teaching people to do that stuff. I have never seen a community, like, in general, that is so excited to help people get into it. I speedrun games that don't have records, usually. If I'm going to speedrun at all. But I have never seen a more helpful community than the folks who speedrun The Room. You know those puzzle games I like? I have never seen a more helpful community. I mean, I have, I suppose, because I play Guild Wars too. Alright. What was I doing? Oh, confronting Goose. Goose! Oh, I keep forgetting to close the door. Well, let's get this over with. Why'd you steal from the curio case? I didn't steal anything. Deleuze said she heard you do it. She's wrong. It's, really cramped in here. Please leave. Get Goose to admit that they took the tooth. Oh, we're done with Clarice, too. Okay. I guess that's the kitchen, then. When they reached the kitchen, Vance was there, sitting on a stool with a small notebook. Her hands were fiercely trembling, but she seemed to be forcing herself to write. Gentlemen? She did not look up until she had finished her sentence. I must ask you to leave. I will not casually chat with Belle's killer. Madame, we are all under suspicion. I still believe that we have more to gain by working together. I decline. Well, if you won't answer your questions, I'll just assume you did it. Very well. Ask your questions and then be gone. Where were you when Belle was murdered? Vance stood up from the stool she had been sitting on, hunched over a small notebook with a black fountain pen. With a black fountain pen. Chad, I am completely correct about what happened here, and I cannot tell you what I think happened here. You have enough to put together the same things I've put together. Chat, don't tell them. I know you know. And I know Maggie knows. And so does Ben Reba. Shh. The people in the VOD don't need to know. Let the little potatoes be surprised. Yeah, and Kat also probably doesn't know. Provided she's still here. Vance stood up from the stool she had been sitting on, hunched over a small notebook with a black fountain pen. I was looking for her up in her office, but she wasn't there. I started to look around the other parts of the house, and when I finally saw her, in the boiler room. Vance turned away and shook a bit. My composure failed. I admit that I screamed when I saw her. After that, I came in here. I feel safer with the kitchen imps to protect me. Oh, this should be Holly, I think. Asking about the imps. The imps? They're plenty strong, so don't get any funny ideas. I just need to wait for morning, and this long nightmare will be over. Who would have a motive to do this? All of them. You saw that she'd received that threat. One of the guests is a hitman that barely shows their face. They're clearly hiding something. I feel like that alone is more than enough evidence for the police. Though, if you want my opinion, Goose is clearly a red herring. You mean you think that Goose is a ruse? Is a ruse? Yes, a ruse goose. I'm glad we've had a loose goose, a roost goose. We've so many goose. So much goose. So many geese. Because they... There's even goose in the chat. Honk honk. Newt newt. There are many bird noises to be had in the chat. Because they are not the only killer here tonight. She shot Harold a particularly venomous look. Feeling guilty? You should be. Everything went wrong as soon as you started trying to summon that ghost. Ghost! Hey, I know you're upset, but Harry didn't do anything wrong. He clearly did. You saw it yourself. The lights went out, and then she was robbed and murdered. And I have heard the rumors about you, Ludikiel. Everyone has been tiptoeing around the subject, but I really don't understand. How is a man with a demon allowed to roam freely, the same as any good, respectable citizen? I keep to myself. And you know, the rumors of what my demon did have been incredibly embellished in the retelling. I suppose you must have used the last of your good connections. And I'll trust the word of my associates, thank you. And not the word of a wash-up like you. I'm sorry. Harry, quit apologizing for waves you didn't make. Vance looked back over her notebook. Ugh, away with you. Okay. Get Goose to admit that they took the tooth. Who are we done talking to? We're done with Merrick. We're done with Clarice. We need a way into Belle's office. Oh, wait. Whoa, welcome back! Gosh, how long has it been? It's been like minutes. Couldn't you stay not here? It was so nice while you weren't here. We need your help. Everyone seems to. Please. Well, I guess I don't have a lot to do at the moment. And you are too two are too chumpy to have committed any murders. Thank you? Just don't get your demon out or whatever. I heard that it melted a guy's wife's hand off in a jar of acid at a party. That's a new one. You said you can break locks? My imp won't let me get locked into any place. So technically, sure. If I can frame it right. Daya's imp looked like a large metal key. It scampered free of her pocket, tears rolling down its handle. Oh, no, baby. Oh, no. Oh, Daya. I suddenly have some suspicions about how you were kept as a child. And I do mean kept. Oh, sweetie. It pushed firmly against the door, and despite its small size, the door pushed smoothly open. The imp muttered through tears as it pushed. Let me out! Let me out! Are you okay? Why wouldn't I be? It just does that. Like I said, imps are weird. What they say doesn't mean anything. Thank you, Miss Toulouse. That's all you needed? Let him off! Snacks are calling! Harold and Faraday entered the office and saw what clearly constituted a murder scene. Whoa! Wait, that's like burnt. Scorch marks on the carpet and a mess of papers that were not scattered on the previous visit to the room. There were several cabinets that were open, and the mess made it difficult to know where to look first. Oh, it's the scene. Chat, I am informed that that I'm gonna have to voice a panic attack for this, and then it can be pretty heavy. So take that as you will. That is your warning. Because this is live, YouTubers, if you're watching this later on VOD, I can't tell you when to skip to. Sorry. This place is a mess. There's no real way of knowing what objects would be relevant unless you could have a look around. Why me? My sight's better than Deleuze's, but not by much. No. Use... you know. Oh, I see what we're doing. We're about to see a demon. Okay, chat. I'm gonna take a little bit of drink. Time for Holly to have bad times. Alright, let's go! Okay, man's got an imp sealed in his eyes. Alright, let's go. See through a demon, actually. Oh! I don't want to do that here. You said I had to do this for Belle, so Holly, can't you do this? At least to solve her murder? Fine. Stand back or go in the hallway or something. Sure. Faraday took a deep breath and took off his glasses. Belle's script for the play. It burned up with her. Almost none of it is left. It's not salvageable. This is part of the script too. Hours and hours. All ashes. I wonder if it will never get made because of this. What will happen if it's gone forever? Imagine just running at the glass and trying to jump out. Harry Seal would push me back. He would save me without even knowing. What if you climbed up that and fell backwards and just broke your head open? Almost nothing left on top except for a few pens and blue ink stains. Will the next person who owns this desk even know who Belle was? It's pulled open and something is missing. Something that belongs here is gone. I won't be able to find it if it's not in this room. What if that's the whole reason she was murdered? There's a burn mark on the ground and one on the ceiling. She died right here, and nobody heard it. Did she just combust? Could I burn up like that? Could Harry? What if the killer comes after us next? Another page of the script. What a waste. Death is so senseless. People are gone so fast. Oh no! You piece of shit! How many times have you run away? You could have done something with your life. You are the most pathetic loser. A man with no impact. Might as well have never existed. Belle wrote thousands of words more than you ever will. And now she's dead, and her work will outlive her. What work have you done? You don't matter. Nothing matters. Nothing you ever do will be worth anything to anyone. At least Harry has done something. You're too broken to finish a single thing. He's too good for you. When you die, not a single person will care or remember. He tried to keep looking, but the room felt bigger and bigger every second, like it was going to swallow him. That everything inside it felt incomprehensible and impenetrable. His whole life felt like something he wished he could forget. His failures, his unfinished work, they all felt like 1,000 pounds manifesting themselves on his chest. He stared at the room and, in every single object, saw the terribleness of cold, uncaring world that would burn or fade or rot. The room reminded him of how he didn't deserve to be here, or anywhere. He was worthless. He lost control of his breathing, and the world felt like a stage he wasn't even on. His heart raced, and his face contorted into pained, gasping sobs. He couldn't make words. He struggled to stay standing or to catch his breath. "Holly! I'm coming back in!" Harold moved close, waiting desperately to make it stop, and to put his arms around his shaking friend. Even though his arms ached to hold him, hoping that protective feeling would reach him. But he waited for permission. Faraday's voice was just a series of gasping sounds, but between them he managed a strangled word. "Oh, okay." Harry pulled him into a hug, and Faraday burst into tears. He moaned and tried to catch his breath between wordless, pained utterances. "I'm sorry. I'm right here, Holly." Harry's arms were tight around him, the pressure familiar. Holly wanted to sink deeper into that grip, to fall back through the years to when this embrace had been his on a whim. Even now, Holly could feel an awkward curl in Harry's fingertips. Hands once so comfortable with his body now didn't quite know what to do. "What did you find out?" Faraday choked back a bitter laugh. "Right back to work, huh? Sorry. This isn't exactly a thing I do regularly." "Right. Hopefully it wasn't something important. You're really awful at comforting, you know? Sorry. No. Let's just stay here for a minute." "That's enough." He almost felt Harry pull away, but with a sudden fierce affection, his arms wrapped tighter. There was a lot he wanted to say, but he bit back every single one of those words. After a couple of minutes, Holly found it easier to breathe, and they got back to work. "The murder took place here. That burn mark, that's where she died. It wasn't in the boiler room, and whoever did it also burned up the entire final draft of her play. I'll get that written down." "So," Faraday grit his teeth, then managed a cocky grin. "Where to next?" We've said everything we need to say to Duluth, so let's head back into the hall." "Okay, we're done with Dea." "Okay, we're done with Dea, Clarice, and Merrick. Do we have anything to talk to? Who have we got left to talk to? Gotta get Goose to admit he stole a tooth. Oh. Oh, never mind. I don't have anything here. I guess to the kitchen then. We're not done with Vance. Yeah, anyway, that scene was heavy. Sorry, Val. You okay? You guys know you can always check out for a second. Hi, Jelly Bucket! Oh, try rechecking the study after this. Okie dokie. Yeah, you... That scene's heavy. I wouldn't have been upset if you, like, checked out for, like, the whole thing. It's okay. You know that scene. You've... Oh, there is a scene in this, where... Okay, so your demons are made up... Your imp or your demon is... And they are demons. Is made up of, like, a lot of your repressed desires and feelings and stuff. So we just had Holly look through his. His is sealed to his eyes. So we had him look through his imp. In his eyes. And it got real heavy. Because he's mostly just feeling really inadequate. And like he doesn't belong here, like he doesn't deserve to be alive because he's busy feeling like I haven't done anything, I haven't made it, I haven't left any mark on the world, and no one would care if I was here or not. Which is really rough and heavy. Oh, I see where this is going. Yeah. It's really rough and heavy. So it's mostly just a lot of suicidal ideation. He's okay. Everyone's okay. Nobody tried to do anything. But, except for cry a lot. But, it's still a really heavy thing. PSA, the world is always better with you in it. That's true! Anyway, yeah. That's why I put a little... That's why I said for... Chat has... at least a few folks in chat have played this game before. So I got the warning in advance that that scene was coming. When they returned to the kitchen, Vance was barely looked up from her writing. Come to bother me again, I see. Why would someone burn her script to the play? What a horrible thing to do! I had no idea it was burned. She had been working on it tirelessly. Well, it's almost completely gone. I doubt anyone can use it. I'm sorry. Well, at least her legacy can continue. Even if all her notes are gone and I have to go back to the originally published version, I'll make sure that the show goes on. After all, the creative voice behind the Constance Little Bear Mysteries has not entirely departed. As her editor, I can continue the stories for her. Can you? I came here to start making notes right away. It felt like the only way I could respect what she's leaving behind. We'll let you get back to it, then. Office! When they returned to the office. It's you! Where you been? What are you doing in here? Snooping. You shouldn't... He gave up. May we ask you a few questions? If that's how the imps are, mine would just be a giant estrogen pill. Oh, yeah, fun fact about Harry. Harry's is a girl named Maggie. He's trans his gender. But you better believe his imp is like a full-size human person with acid and very excitable. His imp is straight up a persona, like in the Jungian psychology way. Yeah. Don't worry, man's FTM. He's fine. He's fine like this. Welcome back, Val! You came back in time for Lupine! I'm cringe and I'm free, and he hates it! Yes, that's his imp! I'm cringe and I'm free! Yeah, that's who Lupine is. Oh, yes! I'm cringe and I'm free. Yes, we love him. I know you always keep him on. By all means. Where were you when Belle was murdered? I was checking on Goose. They're usually real tough, so I was surprised they were sick. So, you've met them before this. Guess the cat's out of the bag on that. Such an adorable detective, aren't you? He leaned a bit closer to Faraday with a wink. Faraday blushed and stammered. Yeah. So you know them. Why pretend not to? I'd rather come clean. I don't want to deal with getting a murder pinned on me. I'm a thief, not a murderer. I'm guessing here, but I feel like everyone we talk to is going to say they're not murderers. But at least one of them is a liar. Well, ask Goose then. They'll back me up. Say I told you it's okay. How'd you find out about the party? We've been planning this for a while. We got floor plans, got her to run into Goose whenever she decided to let them... Oh. Whenever she decided to let them in would have been all the chance we needed. Why come steal something when you can't get out? Well, that would have been exciting to deal with. But it wasn't something I planned for. This party just happened to be when she invited them. And I found a way to sneak myself in under the circumstances. I didn't know you would seal the place, though. There's no way to get out of here until morning. That was a bit of a hitch, but I'm sure I could have worked something else out. A challenge! It would have been fun! Did you like my trick with the lights? You really scared poor Clarice. No one got hurt. No one was supposed to get hurt, at least. I really don't know what went wrong. You see anything suspicious? I really didn't. I wasn't paying attention to anything but the prize. The prize being... I just love demon sharks. Hate to break it to you, but there's no such thing as demon sharks. Don't tell Goose. You'd break their heart. I think we're finished talking to Lupine. Aww. I thought we could paw through Belle's notes and fill up on some fun stories. Come back if you change your mind. Bye for now, cuties. Alright, who are we yapping to? Oh, we're done with Lupine. Get Goose to admit the tooth. Alright, Goose. Oh. Well, let's get this over with. Lupine says you can tell us the truth. Okay, if he says it's okay. Lupine and I are partners. We work together to steal imps that belong to other people and give them back to their owners. I did steal this. Goose reached under their hat and pulled out the sharp-pointed object. Ooh. Sharp and green. You seem like you're smart enough to know this isn't a demon shark tooth. Yeah, but we don't know what it actually was. Someone's imp, and they deserved it back. Maybe it's better if I take it and seal it up. No way. Goose pulled it away and put it back under their hat. You don't have the right to deprive someone of a part of themselves. Maybe they got rid of it for a reason? No matter the reason, living with only part of yourself will always feel empty. He does... They do have a big hole in their chest. That's... Big top hat guy is pretty... Goose is beautiful. Like, this is the only position we see their sprite in. But, wow. 10 out of 10. Goose is a hit... An assassin. A hit person. A beautiful hit they. When you give up your imp, it sometimes leaves a physical hole in you. Because, complicatedly, imps and demons are sort of part of you. Looks like we're done talking to Goose. It's, really cramped in here. Please leave. Pink suits are so good. I know, right? After everything we saw and heard, I'm pretty sure I know who killed Canterbury and Belle. Faraday nodded. Me too. Do you want to check your notes before making an accusation? Because now would be a good time to do that. Let's save before we do that, because I think I know. I think I know. Ooh, other endings. I think I know exactly who killed Belle. If I'm not checking them now, then I assure you, I don't need to do it at all. The culprit is... Chat, before we do this, I want to tell you what I think is going on. I haven't put all the pieces together yet, but I need to tell you what I think is going on. I'll do my little parlor scene, and then the game can have its little parlor scene if I'm right. So, the first Little Bear story is written in black ink. Vance is writing in black ink. Belle was burned up, but she wasn't burned up in the boiler room. She burned up in her study. The only person with access to fire strong enough to do that is Vance. She has that fire imp that she's rented before, and we know from the tea kettle that it's soundproof. I wrote that down on my desk. We know from the tea kettle that it's soundproof. Well, mostly. I mean, it might not be perfect, but it is pretty good. And it's also huge. It's large enough to put a person inside. The serving cart was down in the boiler room with the ivy cloth burnt up. So I think what happened here is she killed Belle. I think she wrote the first Little Bear story under a pen name because she is an author of fairy stories. And so people would never accept a murder story from her. So I think she wrote the first story under a pen name. And I think what happened after that was somehow she came into contact with Belle. Because I think Belle is a writer. She certainly is. I think Vance came into contact with Belle through the publisher. How, I am unsure, but she does have good publishing connections. So it's possible that somebody, like an aspiring writer, would be like, oh my gosh, you're Debbie Vance, the fairy tale lady. And would be really excited to meet her. I think she let Bernadette write the stories as well. And I think that the stories that Bernadette Belle was writing were better. I think she was legitimately better. I think that's why the movie, or the play script is burnt up. I think she burnt it up because she was angry at the rewrites. Because she was upset that Belle was rewriting the one thing that she wrote that was hers. And it would make it so different. I think that's the problem here. I think that's the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't even think Bernadette Belle being like, yep, I'm the writer, just me, was enough. I think it was that. Like, the insult to injury of doing that. And I think that's why Vance killed her. I did say on stream, like, Wednesday night, wow, that's a good motive for murder. I also think that sea urchin might not necessarily be Belle's, might not necessarily be Belle's imp. But we'll figure that out. I know it's the one she was wearing. I'm so good at this. I am so good at this. Yeah, I can come along with you. Just know that I will be grinding out masteries on the side. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was Belle's imp or Vance's, and Vance was forcing Belle to write. But Vance is missing her imp for sure. She has one. She said she didn't, but she's a lying liar facing a murderer. Oh, we can scroll. I love that we can scroll. I want to point to Novak, but I'm going to point to the one I think it is first, and then we'll see if we have other endings. All right, we hydrate as chat demands. This game was made for a game jam, so... Alright. Big stretch. Okay. Oh, that's my whole phone. Come back. Staff, I'm too small to pick up my whole phone. Staff. Staff. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna do twists. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we're so good at this. That Magnus thing. That Magnus playmat is too big for my desk. Like, it's too big. It's beautiful. I was like, oh, I'll use the playmat for a mouse pad because I thought it would be like a personalized playmat, but it's big enough for a table. It's so large. It's 24 inches by like a bunch. It's bigger. The poster Val sent me is 18 by 24, and it's bigger than that. It's huge. All right, anyway, Vance. Sybil and Meme in Mad Science Club eating the chemicals. No! I mean, it's pretty obviously... Harold put a finger to his lips, then whispered. Shh, wait a moment. He leaned in and quietly continued. I'm certain that we're on the same page, but let us proceed with caution. We cannot tell where, exactly, the rented imps may be. We cannot allow them to suspect that we think it is. He mouthed the word. Vance. Holly nodded, and then stated loudly. Since all of you said it wasn't you, it must have been a suicide. No murders in either case. Mystery solved as far as I'm concerned. He tilted his glasses down so that Harold could see his eyes, and gave a big wink. Harold did his best to act annoyed at this, instead of incredibly charmed. I don't know anyone's names yet. Oh my god, I need to cosplay this red-haired person with the glasses. Dea? Oh, Dea's amazing. Dea Deleuze. Here, I will give you guys the rundown. Gareth Canterbury isn't here. She was recently murdered. This is Holly Faraday. You must understand that Ludikiel has... This is Maggie's writing. In green. It's Ludikiel. This was Bernadette. Goose Downey. This is Dea Deleuze. Dea Deleuze is a shipwright. This is Faraday's notes on her. I think Faraday has a fan, yeah. Well, he and Harry were together for a long time. Dea Deleuze is amazing. She's in other games by the same creator. There's a robot game that I cannot play on stream for reasons. Little too bedside table content aware. For those of you that have played Date Everything, a little too bedside table content aware. Can't play that one on stream, but Dea is also in that. Content aware filter going off. Yeah, oh, that one. Yeah, it's that kind of game. It's okay, because I may be tiny, but that doesn't mean I am not yes amounts old. What are we going to do after we finish this game? I don't know. Maybe grind out a little bit more mastery in Guild Wars 2, potentially, but I'm not sure yet. I want to see the endings, though. There are multiple endings for this. I understand that there is one bad ending. There is an ending for accusing Novak. Because he didn't murder Bernadette, but there is an ending for accusing him. And there is the true ending for accusing the correct person. They headed toward the kitchen, but instead could hear movement toward the music room. When the two men arrived at the music room, they found Vance there, as well as Lupine and Goose. Hold it right there! Lupine gave him a cheeky grin. We are nosy tonight, aren't we? Faraday clenched his hands into fists. Despicable! You were in cahoots with her the whole time? Oh, I guess there's no point in hiding it after all. Goose withdrew the demon shark tooth from under their hat and handed it off to Vance. Blah! The great thief has successfully finished another heist. You said you were a thief, not a murderer. Murderer? Lupine's eyes flitted from Faraday to Vance to the tooth in her hands. I see! Goose, we messed up, big time. If I hadn't been so worried about your health, I would have noticed sooner. What's all this racket? Duluth entered, quickly followed by Novak and Myers. Goose motioned toward Vance. She's... Faraday lost his patience. Yes! Of course she's the killer. Myers shook her head. No, that can't be true. Miss Vance and Miss Bell have been friends ever since Miss Bell wrote her first Constance Littlebear mystery. Harold withdrew a sheaf of papers. My apologies, madame, but not a single thing you've just said is correct. Because Vance was not Bell's friend, and Bernadette Bell did not write the first Constance Littlebear mystery. What? When Belle gave Miss Myers her autograph, she signed it in blue ink. The same blue ink that she claimed to have used to write all her stories. But this first draft is written in black ink, with spidery handwriting that differs significantly from the rest of Belle's notes. The spidery handwriting is not, however, only to be found on this first draft. It can also be found... Faraday snatched a small notebook out of Vance's hands and held it open to show the assembled onlookers. In Vance's personal notebook. Not a word of it's true. This is just a distraction. He's throwing accusations around in order to confuse you all. None of you can trust such a vile man, nor his associate. Hey, I could have sworn I heard you mention that you were the one who recommended Ludikiel to Belle. I mean, Ludikiel's not a guy I would invite to a party either. But if I were looking for somebody shady to take the blame, plenty of people would assume he did it. Well, she invited me too. She said that Belle had stolen her imp, and she needed our help getting it back. She was supposed to give Belle our calling card, so that Belle would know we were stopping by. Why did she even need our help? Miss Vance, you could have strolled in and asked for your imp back at any time. Boss, it was a frame-up. Oh. She must have figured, if Ludikiel didn't take the fall, there would be 2 more outlaws as backups. Me? I'm never someone's backup! I never play less than center stage! All that matters is that she had plenty of patsies shielding her from suspicion. So cruel. This is mere conjecture, nothing more. How on earth could I have killed Belle? As you so callously established. She gestured to the hole in her neck. I have no imp of my own. Not true. You vile thing. I'm not lying. I haven't published a book in years. I was forced to sell my imp. You didn't have your imp. You had several rented imps. As you all know, Vance made our dinner tonight, using one of the cooking imps that makes a flame hot enough to char a person alive. One that is, I might add, more than big enough to hold a human body, and soundproof enough to smother a tea kettle's screech. Let alone the last cries of poor Belle. And she's had control over them both in the past as well, because she said Belle would rent these imps from the same people often. She used the cooking imp to kill Belle in her office. Then, assuming that the imp couldn't move with poor Belle inside, Vance put Belle's body on the same cart she used to serve dinner, the one with the ivy cloth. She carted Belle's body to the basement and dumped her into the furnace, threw the incriminating cloth in after her, and then screamed, alerting the rest of us. You did it! Admit it! I'm stunned that a man like you was competent enough to put all this together. But solving this only means you've doomed everyone here. The name of the achievement for correctly guessing the suspect, like correctly getting the murder, is J'accuse! J'accuse! French, you can stay as a language. You're weird, but I'll allow it. But solving this only means you've doomed everyone here. So fine, what does it matter? I wrote the first Constance Little Bear mystery. It feels so good to say it. I published it under a pseudonym, knowing that the public would never accept it from me. Me, a respectable writer of beloved fairy tales. Writing tales of blood. It would sully my reputation. Get good, lady. Shel Silverstein wrote lots of things. Wrote the homework poem, but also wrote some other stuff. That is also content-aware labeling. It would sully my reputation. The story did modestly. Many readers enjoyed it, including Bernadette Bell. The little upstart. She was a little nothing writer who loved my story and confided her esteem, not knowing that I was the writer. I told her my secret. She was so excited. She asked to assist me in continuing the series. I even allowed her a small percentage of the earnings. But as we published more and more, sometimes trading off submissions, it became apparent that the public preferred her stories. So I let her write. Oh yeah, Bernadette's adorable. You won't get to hear her because she's dead now. But let me see if I can remember the voice I gave her. Oh, I'd love it if you'd let me help you write. I was so delighted by the Constance Little Bear story that you wrote. I can't believe it was you. Debbie Vance, I mean, you wrote the fairy stories that I grew up with. Yeah, there we go. Why is everyone in this game so cute and pretty and cool? Except for Novak. He's pretty, but he's awful. Almost as bad as DeRosa. No, he is as bad as DeRosa. Like, to be fair, to be fair, he is not grinding up women to put into the drug that lets him lure in more women, to grind up more women to put into the drug that lets him lure more women, etc. But he is doing the same thing, just worse and bad at it. Like, you must understand that DeRosa is a brilliant biochemist. And he is competent in his own right. He is the leader of the Blood Rose Legion in his own right. He did that himself. Novak grabbed onto his wife's coattails. And said, yeah, let's go. I'm gonna ride this baby all the way to the top. And he got as far as, like, lieutenant in the Navy. Like, I don't think... Is lieutenant a... One sec. I can't spell lieutenant, chat. It's French. Oh yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Lieutenants are... It's a junior officer. I was gonna say, it's not quite an NCO, but he's not very far up the chain. There are very few people beneath him. And, like, he's not even... Chat, if you don't know about the military, just believe me when I say that this man thinks he is very impressive because he is this close to becoming a senior officer. But understand that he's like... The equivalent thing in customer service for this sort of position is like being the store manager and being like, someday I'm going to be the district manager and then the regional manager. Like, that's where he's at. He's like, yeah, I'm store manager around here. Someday I'm going to be the regional manager around here. District manager, yeah. Like, there's a lot of guys above him. So I let her write more and more. But she had the gall to suggest that she deserved more of the profits. I mean, she is writing these things. She even confided in her nosy little friend, Gareth Canterbury. Canterbury said it was wrong for Belle to write so much for me to get all... and for me to get all of the profits. As though the series wouldn't exist without me. I, the creator of the series, was falling deeper into obscurity. A certain standard of living is expected of an authoress of my esteem. I had to sell my imp, my creative drive, to keep up appearances. I haven't been motivated to write a single page since. She thumbed at the hole in her neck. It was smaller than Goose's, and thus easy to mistake for an earring. I had all but given up on ever seeing my creativity or my glory days ever again. But wouldn't you know, unwittingly, Belle bought my imp. And now there was going to be a stage adaptation of the first story. My story. But the director and Belle insisted on having Belle rewrite it. That was really the final straw. Yes! Chad, I'm so good at this! Novak has a big ego. And he has an imp that lets him command people who are afraid of him. And he uses that for exactly what you would expect a man like that to use that for. He is, like... He would be in the Red Pill subreddit. Vance, this all just sounds like one big skill issue. I know, right? She didn't have to kill anybody. She just had to be good and nice. The earring details make me so happy. Yeah, I know, right? So I dealt with Canterbury, as she knew our secret. And then I dealt with Belle. And now, I don't need a single thing in this house to survive. And fire has really done me quite a few favors lately. Why not one more? I love this imp. He's a little guy. The oven imp stood in the doorway, flame and iron barring the only exit. This rental imp just became unstable. It lost control and burned the whole mansion down. And tragically, none of you made it out. A shame we didn't catch that it was unstable but when it killed Canterbury. What a shame, too, that I will have to rewrite the script myself, now that Belle's gone. But it will tie the whole narrative up neatly. An unhinged imp, an unfortunate fire. But no one to blame. And the public loves a neat and tidy story. The guests were at a loss for words. Lupine whistled in admiration. No. I can whistle. The mic might have peeked it out, but I can do it. Lady, that is a wild story, sure. Oh, you guys heard it. Yay. But you're forgetting one thing. We're not just going to stand around and let you kill us. Goosey, get her! Goose drew a gun from their side and held it level at Vance. You seem to be forgetting about the second imp, which is just as dangerous. Knife! Hack! The razor-thin knife imp sliced deeply through Goose's hand, and they recoiled, dropping the gun and clutching the wound. Oh, that's her imp! I get it. Novak, are you gonna step up and do something cool? Because it would be cool if you did. Just saying. Like, I hate you. Novak is a loser like that. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, Clarice. She looks so cute back there. All, like, pigeon-toed. Hand-painted, chat! Vance laughed and held her own imp aloft. First, I shall reclaim my creative drive. Then I will claim your lives. And then I will reclaim my career. Harold felt his stomach lurch. It wasn't the mealy, self-obsessed fear of social discomfort this time, but a sudden terror for the safety of every person he'd locked inside the house. Wait! When we entered this house, Belle mentioned that she hadn't been feeling well. And when Goose stole the imp, Belle was full of energy. While Goose was suddenly stricken ill. That imp is dangerously full of spite and envy. That must have been what made Belle and Goose sick. If you return it to yourself right now, you might not be able to withstand. Vance laughed. Don't be absurd. I have it back where it belongs. And not you, nor anyone else will be able to take it from me. Once I have my creative drive back, I will be returned to the height of my writing ability. How could I, the greatest author of the modern era, be envious of anyone else? I mean, you did kill a lady because you were envious of her. Literally, you did this. You killed 2 people because you were envious of them. And with that, Vance lined the thin spike up with the hole under her ear. And drove it straight into her neck. When it reunited with her, she seemed to lose her balance and crumple to her knees. I forgot how this used to feel. I tried to warn you. Imps are complicated, and yours is filled with so much envy. It could poison anyone. But this should be all I needed to have the same creative drive Belle had. Vance moaned, trying to focus enough to direct the rental imps in her defense. She probably had no idea this thing was even yours. The cabinet was mostly just fake junk. And she probably would have gotten rid of it if she knew it was what was making her so sick lately. Dea, help me tie her up. What? You just assume I have ropes on me? I mean, I do. But that's a rude thing to just assume. Thank you, Dea. I love you. I love you. Only good thing he does in this entire game. Yeah, I know, right? An hour later, as the sun began to rise over Belle's mansion, Lupine and Goose were the first to make swift exit out of the windows, without so much as a farewell. The other guests left more conventionally. If you can call heading home after harassment for answers by belligerent police conventional. The police cuffed Vance and agreed to bring her in, pending a more thorough check of all the facts. As she was led past Harold and Faraday, she chuckled. You think this was a loss for me, but even if they take me in for a while, I'll still come out on top. Without Belle's notes, who do you think they'll be turning to write that script? Who are they going to consult about the direction of the series? Who will write the next story? Soon everyone will know that I wrote the first story. Full creative control. It's my series now. The pair watched her go, her gleeful laugh fading away as she was taken out the door. That sounds about right for the level of justice in this city. Disgusting. If the chain does publish the next story, I'm sure as hell not gonna read it. While Harold gathered up his things, Faraday slumped over on the couch. Hey, next time you're going to a party, remind me that I hate them. How about I remind you of this? Nobody invited you in the first place. Ugh. Faraday rolled over. Do you at least have a solicitor? Some kind of lawyer? There's gotta be something else we can do so that Vance doesn't get her way. Oh, sure. I'll just hire a lawyer to help Belle's memory with all the money she didn't pay for this evening. Faraday pressed his face into the cushions. We could pull a lupine and help ourselves to payment. Harold sighed. We could probably get away with it, but it just wouldn't feel right even I have to get my script back from where I hid it. Ah! Harold dropped his bag and clutched at his arm, hanging off his sleeve. Hee love Belle's imp! Was Bernadette Belle's imp. You little rascal. When I finished finding that script, I'm going to seal you away. Wait. What? Harold opened up his bag and dangled the little thing above it. Nothing. It's simply Belle's imp again. Got me one of those accursed jabs. No, before that, you said Belle's script. Yeah, it's trying to get me to... Harold stopped, and the imp hopped up into his arm. It gave a questioning look. Oh! I think I understand. Belle's imp was made from her desire to continue working. Belle was obsessed with finishing her script when she died. And without Belle around, it seems to need to compel someone else to complete the job. The imp hopped a little, seeming to reach for his hand. Harold lifted a finger and without a second thought, he pressed his fingertip down against one of the sharp spines. Harold was halfway out the door before Faraday could hop to his feet and follow. The imp led them upstairs to Belle's office. Moving his sore hand along the side of the desk, Harry felt around and found a secret compartment. It slid open with little resistance. They pulled out a large document, all handwritten in blue ink. Faraday gripped Harold's shoulder. She must have suspected something. Does it look like it's usable? Faraday flipped through carefully. He was quiet for a time, taking it in. Holly? The rewrite fixes all of Vance's mistakes in the first story. I'm sure people are going to like it. Vance is probably going to scream her head off when she finds out. Ha! Serves her right! I can't believe something good is finally happening tonight. We can give this to Myers and the director and everything will... Shh! I'm reading. 3 months later. In Harold's stray imp-infested home. Harold and Faraday were dressed in their best yet again. Faraday looked down at the 2 tickets in his hand. All that stress and hard work. And she didn't even bother to send us free tickets. At least we managed to get enough money together for them. You think you can handle this? That's the premiere. So there are going to be a lot of notable people there. For one night. I promise to ignore them all. Faraday wasn't sure that Harold could keep to that promise. But he appreciated the effort. You know, I heard an imp lost control in the theater last month. It'd be just our luck to run into that on our one night out. I'm going back to bed. Harold turned around and plodded away. Like hell you are! Get back here! I'm letting my legs go limp. Harold, my boy! You silly boy. I'll drag you if I have to. You lousy bastard! I earned this damn date! You sure have. What? As you guys know, we watch the credits on this channel. He did. The name for the achievement for the true ending is You Sure Have. We're gonna go accuse Holly, or not Holly. We're gonna go accuse the guy. Oh, this game is a delight. It's clear that it was made for Game Jam. Like, that it was fairly quickly put together. Yeah, Novak, that's the one. It's clear that it was fairly quickly put together. But, I quite liked it. I've heard that they're updating to have different bad endings for accusing different people. That was delightful. Oh yeah, don't you worry. We're gonna accuse Novak. Aww. You guys. Chat really, for those of you that don't know, chat really wanted me to play this game a lot. Let's accuse this man, who I hate. Faraday and Harold managed to get everyone together in the parlor. The murderer is none other than Lieutenant Novak. What a shame that he has no alibi for the time of the murder. Dea! You were with me the whole time. That's not how I remember it. Ah! Dea out here Rashamoning this man. It's a shame, really. If he was a reliable type of guy, the type of guy to sign divorce papers. Oh! Dea! Oh, I love you. I love you so much. Can we keep her? Can we keep her? I wish she was on aquarium staff. She isn't because she's not real, but I wish she was. Maybe I could vouch for his character. But as it stands, I just can't say. This isn't funny. I mean, it is kind of funny. Pretty objectively. Dea. You will cease this nonsense right now. Oh no! I'll do whatever you want. I'm so sorry. Oh man, get out of here with that. Who would be scared of a big temper tantrum baby like you? Yes! Dea, get him! Get him! Sure, I'd like you to know that there's a new enemy called Wiggles and look outside. I love him. I love that. Dea, clock him. She could. Get him, girl. Get him. I will help. I am 4 centimeters big, but I have a thirst for blood. I love her. She's funny. She's great. I don't know if you were here for it, but one of the things that happens when we interrogate her is we're like, yeah, the seance was fake. And she's like, oh, really? And then we're like, so where were you? And she's like, I don't know if I have to tell you that. And she gets kind of grumpy with us for making some suggestions. And then, we're like, oh yeah. Yeah, that seance was definitely real. Because, you know, it's not... Of course it's real, and you'd say so, because, you know, your father died under such mysterious circumstances. It's... Basically, we give her the... And yeah. You know what? You know what? Maybe I will chat with you. You very legitimate seance doer. I love that sequence. Really cute. Dea's the best. Novak tried to argue, but Deleuze continued to mock him. Soon, nobody was all that scared of him. Deleuze even provided a significant length of rope to keep him restrained until morning. When the sun rose and the seal on the mansion broke, the police were summoned. They arrived promptly, and he was led away. Novak put on a stern face. Dr. Harold Ludikiel was never paid for the evening's proceedings, and Holly Faraday was never quite convinced that they had chosen the right culprit. But he wasn't overly motivated to clear Novak's name either. Bad end. Kinda. I mean, he did go to jail, but not for the crimes he's committed. For a crime he didn't commit. Yes. And we might as well see the bad end real. The bad end reel is all the same for all of them, so... Yeah, let's go see the standard bad end. Who is the baddest and... Who would I accuse? Clarice, your imp's face broke. Into pieces. I think it'd be funniest to accuse Clarice. Because I'm not accusing Deleuze, because she's great. Goose obviously didn't do it, and I believe Lupine, and Clarice is the only other one who had even the remotest of motivations. Not to make her play more popular, but rather because she's, Dea has funny capitalism moment. Oh, do they have slightly different endings? I thought they were all kind of the same. Oh, this is Clarice. Clarice here is an actress. She's very sweet and adorable and precious. And cute. Oh, all slightly different. I'm not accusing Dea. I love her too much. Clarice! Mirabelle from ESAT if she was an actress. Yeah, that's accurate. That's even how I voiced her. Yeah, alright. Faraday and Harold managed to get everyone together in the parlor. The killer is Clarice Myers. She got caught snooping on a script and was so embarrassed in front of her idol. Oh! So you found me out! Clarice's face contorted and she gave a chilling villain laugh. Who but I, the Duchess herself, could have committed such a nefarious plot? But it petered out quickly into a very joyless frown. Honestly, I would never. How are we supposed to believe you when you put on that evil face? I just find strong characters comforting when I'm nervous. You see? You can never take down Duchess Baker. Myers put on a brave face, and after that moment, refused to set aside her character. The others kept an eye on her until morning, and when sun rose and the seal on the mansion broke, the police were summoned. They arrived promptly, and as she was led away, Clarice Myers had a few genuine tears on her cheeks. Never paid for the evening. Never quite shook the feeling that they had made a dreadful error in judgment that day. Oh wait, I can just leave now. Funny capitalism moment. Funny capitalism moment. Faraday and Harold managed to gather everyone in the parlor. Yes, yes. Our killer was Ms. Deleuze. She said she was alone at the time of the murder, and she could easily have broken into Belle's office. Okay, alright, everybody. Plus a prior offense. Good luck backing any of that up. I said before she was with me. Merrick, I don't need your help. Dea turned to the rest of the group and put out her hands. I guess you're going to have to tie me up until morning. Dea! Dea! Why would we tie you up? You're not resisting. You're not exactly a threat. Or am I? Who knows what I could be capable of? Better really get me tied up nice and tight. The others kept an eye on her until morning. And when the sun rose and the seal on the mansion broke, the police were summoned. They arrived promptly and treated the suspect with considerably more respect than any of the other guests. Well, of course I would be delighted to come along with you, officers. I'm sure we can clear up this little misunderstanding. Oh, and by the way, did my little donation to the policeman's ball go through all right? I'm very much looking forward to making another next year, so long as nothing might happen to get in the way of it. The police cleared Deleuze within a week. Harold Ludikiel was made the prime suspect. While there wasn't enough evidence to convict him, he was treated to a lifetime of surveillance and harassment, on the rare occasions he left his home. Dea! Dea! But with what rope? The rope she has on her. I no longer like Dea after that. You must understand, she's extremely wealthy and she doesn't care what you think of her. She's not a nice... No one here is a good person. Now, that said... You must understand, she's just a funny little guy. What you've got to understand is that Dea is adorable. No, don't pick any sides. Be contrary. Hi, Steph. What is it? I'm complicated. Yes, multifaceted. What? Hi. Hello. What are we talking about? Yeah, I'm telling other people to be contrary. Why am I doing that? Well, it works for me. Of course it works for me. It does. No, it does. It's working right now. staff thinks it doesn't work. But it does. I wanted attention, and I got attention. Winning. Perfect. Faraday and Harold managed to get everyone together in the parlor. The only obvious choice is lupine flowers. Hurtful! You're pinning it on me just because I'm an enigmatic stranger, one who wasn't invited, and perhaps I do have the ability to do a thing or two with spontaneous fire. The body was burned in her office, and you were even hanging out there at the scene of the crime. I would never! I'm a gentleman! Maybe a bit of a curious and nosy gentleman, but a gentleman nonetheless. Nothing about that sounds like a gentleman. Neither does stealing from Belle. What? That's definitely gentlemanly. I'm a gentleman thief. I sent a note covering this. He did do that. I think I love Dea as a character, but would hate her if I actually met her. Yeah, that's basically it. She's a fun, silly character, but, like, as a person, she'd be awful. We know those people in real life, and they're not like Dea. And he even had an accomplice, Goose Downey. Guilty as charged. Not cool, Goosey. Not cool. I'll take that item you stole. Vance held out her hand and took the demon shark tooth from Goose, who surrendered it willingly. The group managed to get the two thieves tied to chairs, but when the sun rose and the seal on the mansion broke, both of them managed to slip their bonds and escape before the police were summoned. The demon shark tooth went missing yet again. The escape was very much to the dismay of a zealous man in a trench coat who showed up just as quickly as the police force. Both culprits were wanted, and these crimes were added to the many they were already accused of. Dr. Harold Ludikiel was never paid for the evening's proceedings, and Holly Faraday never quite managed to shake the feeling that they had made a dreadful error in judgment that day. Okay, so that was... Yeah, there's only 20 minutes till the end of the stream. That was fun. Ah! I guess we're playing Watermelon Game. It's been so long. Oh, golly. Let me make sure it's even downloaded. Oh, boy. Chat. You'll never guess who forgot she had that redeem. You'll never guess. Oh, there's my Switch controller. I also have my beloved Switch 2, which is beautiful. And I love. Okay. Oh, it's downloaded. Okay. Now. Oh, this one. One moment, you will not be able to hear me for a second. Okay. There we go. Anyway, Case of the Serialized Killer is free if you want to play it for yourself. It's a fairly simple game because it was made for a game jam. It's been a little while since I played the Watermelon Game. Bum, bum, ba, ba, da. Yes! Perfect. You know, I thought I would yap for longer than I did while I was playing that. Woo! But then I didn't do that. I yapped so long last time, you guys. You don't even know. It was very silly indeed. Check and attest. They were like, "Fair, I thought you had ADD," and I was like, "No." Come on! Yes! A pineapple. Do 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 do. No! Maybe the physics will help. Physics! Yay! Physics, you did it! Everyone can say thank you, physics. No! Oh! Oh. Oh, yeah. Darn it. Ooh. No! No! Oh. Ooh. There's a lot of empty space down there that I would like to fill up with things that are not a cherry. Oh? Oh? Oh! What a good job cleaning, chat. Look at us go. Suika game to end off. Yes. Thank you, physics. Yes. Because your Helen Doodle's really good. That's why. Chat, you should all go look at Vel's art because it's amazing. Vel doesn't think it is, so you have to be like... You have to give them so many compliments that they don't know what to do, and then, like, you have to, like, treat it like getting a cat to do something. That's how it works. You have to outstrip them being sad. And self-depreciating. Sometimes there's people you have to do that for. And that's okay. Don't know about that. Oh, there we go. I was a little concerned. And I can't see chat right now because I'm locked in. But I am suspecting that I am getting the fear and other such protests. Oh, I think it'll go. I think I can give it a little help. I helped it. No! Oh, I was late. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yols. Protest indeed. I knew it. I knew it. I was so good at this. What did the watermelon say to her boyfriend when he proposed? We can't elope. Oh no. Oh, darn it. Oh, golly! Now, if that peach could kindly just scoot on down there, that would make things a lot easier on me personally. There's a lot of physics going on here, and I'm really worried about the potential energy that has been stored. Because this game can sometimes fling things clean away. Just out of this world. And I'm concerned. Oh, okay, that'll work. We're in a bad position, but maybe. Okay, slightly better. That cherry is gonna get... Woohoo! Shit! Did you see that? Did you see that? Aww. Almost. We were very close. Alright, chat. I think I'm gonna end off early for the night. Ah! Ow! I'm fine. Alright, we hydrate as chat demands. Body break. I love my water bottle. Chat, get you a stainless steel water bottle. A lot of people playing Air Riders. That's fun. It's the Kirby game. The Kirby racing game. Oh, but let's go see Lanya Kitty. Or Lena Kitty, gosh. Lena Kitty's DK speedrunner. Alright, that is it for tonight, everyone! everybody. I will see you all tomorrow for Bravely Second. No! Stop highlighting the wrong message. Alright, that's it for tonight, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for playing along with me.